Recording in progress.
Okay. Excuse me a second. Good afternoon and excuse me. Good afternoon. Attorney Ross, you are here for?
Ms. Turner, Your Honor, I haven't gotten any notice from the court or appointment or anything like that, but I understood from Ms. Turner, I represent her on a new charge appointed on that. I understood that the court requested that I be here, so I'm here.
Okay. Alrighty. The Attorney Gonzalez, you are here for? Attorney Jolly Gonzalez?
Yes, good afternoon, Judge. I am here on case for Gilbert Rosas and case number 672056.
Okay.
For an update.
Okay, and alrighty. And licensed chemical dependency counselor Kathy Kopecki, you're here for?
Jonathan Rolando.
Jonathan who?
Regalando.
I spell that again.
Regalando.
You keep breaking up on that first letter.
Okay.
Sorry. Try that again.
REG
Okay.
ALADO.
Okay. Okay. Regalado. Okay. And then is that what you're here for, Ms. Caceres? Christine Caceres?
Yes, Your Honor, I am here. Kathy will be doing the screening on Mr. Regalado, and
Okay.
Roberto will be doing a risk assessment as soon as they're done. So I will just be here listening in, and once Ms. Kopecki, the OSAR clinician, is done, I will go ahead and get Roberto so he can complete the risk assessment.
Okay. All righty. And who is iPhone? Who's that iPhone? Who's that? I need for you to take glasses off your head and rename yourself to display your first name, last name, and then I need for you to get in a better light so I can see your face. Okay, sir? Okay, I'm going to take the cases involving attorneys and Mr. Rosas, I'm just going to get you in with my deputy here to go over proper courtroom decorum and all of that with you, okay? Okay. Well, that's going on. Let's see. It's in your room. Let me go ahead and place you in there. Okay, you should have an invitation. Okay, there you go. All righty, let's get on record on cause number 640-077, State of
Can you hear
Texas
me?
versus Emily. Parties, please approach and identify who's before the court, starting with the CLO.
Ashley Jennings, Court Liaison Officer,
Can you
County
hear me?
Court at Law Number 2.
Mr. Rosas, can you hear me?
CSO for Emily Turner.
Okay, I can't hear you, sir.
This is,
CSO. Hang on a minute, attorney. Who is the CSO? Who's the probation officer for Emily Turner?
Okay, I can't hear you, but if you can hear me, that's fine.
CLO Jennings.
I need to tell you,
It is
you are
Carmen
in an official
Ochoa.
courtroom, even though you're in an
Yeah,
official
Carmen
court
Ochoa,
proceeding,
supervision
you're
officer
on
for Emily
Zoom, okay?
Turner.
Judges wanting you to sit up straight. Don't be putting your hands on your face.
And
Okay, Your Honor, I'm
Different than
hearing
if you
the
were sitting in a
deputy as
courtroom,
well on
okay?
here at the same
Just sit
time as you.
straight,
okay,
center yourself in the screen.
hang on 2 seconds.
Don't be making any faces. And just act accordingly, okay? Do you understand? Nod your head, yes or no. Okay, thank you.
All right, hang on a second. Okay. How is that? Is that any better?
Yes.
Okay, all righty, okay. Sure. Council,
Yes, Your Honor.
we were announcing, sorry for the interruption, we were announcing.
No problem, Your Honor. Jonathan Ross for Ms. Turner, Your Honor.
Alrighty. Hey, Emily Turner, how are you doing this afternoon?
I'm doing really well. Thank you for asking.
Good, good, good. Glad to hear that. Hey, listen, we were here just a little while ago, right, Officer Jennings, when we were here last?
Yes, Your Honor. The last performance hearing was on June 29th, 2022. She was granted probation on April 29th, 2021 for 16 months for driving while intoxicated. Your Honor, you informed the probation that she would be referred to the DWI court, but that her attorney needs to be present for the next hearing. Amending conditions were to be complete sober support groups or Sakata 2 times per week. This case is set to expire August 28, 2022.
Okay. Yeah, so how has Ms. Turner been doing?
She's been doing good. She started the SMART program online. She's going 2 times a week. She actually started on the 4th, and she did another one on the 6th, on the 11th, and then the 13th. She actually started therapy with a personal therapist on the 5th, and she did her last one on the 12th. And she also reinstalled the ignition interlock May 19th, and she hasn't had any violations.
What was that first thing that you say she started?
It's a SMART program, so it's like the community support, but it's online
Oh, it's called SMART,
program.
Smart recovery,
Yes.
Smart recovery, Your Honor.
Smart Recovery, okay. And that's online? Is that third-party verifiable, Officer Joy?
It should.
Do they send you directly her attendance record?
No, she's gonna have to screenshot like wherever they send her the actual Zoom link. So we wanted to make sure that it was okay for her to continue doing the online program.
Okay. All right, and so you said that she installed the ignition and lock one?
She reinstalled it on May 19th of 2022.
Okay. Since we had the last, we're here just to kind of talk about the DWI referral. Mainly, she's been doing good with everything else, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, have we got that in place yet? The referral that has been sent? Officer, excuse me, Ms. Luna, have we sent that DWI referral for Ms. Turner? Marina? Okay. Counsel, have you signed the attorney authorization on that?
Your Honor, I've got no documentation whatsoever on any of this. I just got a call from my client saying that I don't believe I'm officially appointed on this case, but no, sorry.
Okay.
I apologize. I'm just trying to. I've
Okay,
spoken
so-
with her, gotten the information. I'm just trying to go along as smoothly as possible.
Okay, all righty. Counsel, I'm sending you an invite. Okay.
Sorry, it cut off, Your Honor. You were saying something?
I sent you an invite. Please go ahead and accept that.
Sure.
Thank
Was
you.
that going to conclude your discussions with Ms. Turner?
Yes.
Okay, I did have one thing that I believe that the probation officer had asked my client to ask you about. I believe that there is a $6,000 fine on Ms. Turner's probation. I'm assuming that was the DWI fines that went into effect when they replaced the surcharges.
Sir, that's why I'm sending you an invitation. Everybody else is in the breakout room that you have an invite to.
Oh, you're going to be there as well. Very well, Your Honor. Yes. Thank you.
Okay. Your Honor, was we supposed to be in the breakout room?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Guys, excuse me, I'll be right back. Okay. Okay. Let's get back on record. On cause number 640-077. At the time that we suspended the record, there were some questions about issues that we needed to go ahead and clear up. And so back on the record, counsel, you had asked about the section 709 miscellaneous traffic fee, and I had advised you that you needed to go ahead and file a motion on that, correct? And we'll
Yes,
hear
ma'am.
that on Friday. Alrighty, and then the DWI education, DWI court referral. We have signed that for this particular case, but we'll go ahead and do another for the new case, so that will be working. And as a matter of fact, the folks from DWI court are here. And if necessary, I can put you in there with them so that they can give you a preview and determine what else that needs to be done. Will that be okay? Is that something that you want to do, counsel? Ms.
That's fine
Turner?
with me, Your Honor.
Sir?
That's fine with me, Your Honor.
Okay, Ms. Turner? You're muted.
She's just asking if you want to go in the breakout room and talk with the DWI court people, Mr.
That's fine. I apologize. I didn't realize I was muted still.
Okay. All righty. And okay. If okay, so all right, and we've gone over as far as the Smart Start recovery online, but otherwise, Officer Choa, Ms. Turner's doing well with her ignition interlock and other probation requirements on this case?
Yes, Judge.
Okay. Alrighty. We're coming close to the expiration of that. If we're going to, let's move quickly on that. But I think that what we need to do is that we will extend this matter. I want to extend it 2 months to give us enough opportunity to let the attorney work on the new case and see what's going to happen with this case or the new case. Let's see how that works out. Okay, counsel? You have a couple of different avenues to that way that could possibly happen. So I'll give you an opportunity to work that out.
Thank you, Your Honor.
All righty, anything further on this with Ms. Turner?
No, Your Honor.
Anything else? Okay, Officer Ochoa, nothing else?
No, Your Honor.
Okay, counsel?
No, Your Honor.
Okay. Alrighty, let me go ahead and move you guys into the room. With these, with DWIC folks, okay? Officer Ochoa, did you want to go into that room?
I could.
Okay, alrighty. And you can leave at any time, and please let the other folks know they can leave from there, okay? They're excused.
Okay then.
Thank you
Thank
so
you.
much. Alrighty, thanks for being here. Okay. Good afternoon, Attorney Brooks. How are you doing today, sir?
Doing all right, Judge. I apologize. I've been in drug court staffing this afternoon, so I'm sorry I'm late to the hearing.
Not a problem, sir. Whom are you here for?
I'm here for Mr. Noah Gann, Judge.
Okay, very, very good. Attorney Gonzalez, we're going to take her matter up next, and then after that, we're going to take up your matter, sir. Thank you.
Thank you, Judge.
Let us get on record on cause number 672056, State of Texas versus Gilbert Jacob Rosas. Parties, please approach and identify who's before the court, starting with the CLO.
What case is this, Judge? Is this a probation case?
I'm sorry, this is a pretrial. Pretrial officer. Who's the pretrial officer for Mr. Rosas?
Hi, Your Honor. Morgan Brown for pretrial.
Okay. Thank you. Go ahead. Pretrial service officer Morgan Brown. Sorry about that. And attorney?
Well, Shali Gonzalez, I'm defense counsel for Gilbert Rosas.
Mr. Rosas, how you doing this afternoon?
Good, Your Honor.
Very good, very good. And Officer Brown, why are we here?
Hi, Your Honor. Bear with me. I just got transferred this defendant 2 days ago, but looking through his file, it looks like there was a violation submitted June 13th of 2022 for non-enrollment with the ignition interlock.
Okay, and what violation number is that?
It's the second violation, Your Honor.
Okay, and the first violation, was it also for non-enrollment?
Yes, Your Honor. The first violation was submitted in November 19 of 2021.
Okay. And you just got this case 2 days ago?
Yes, Your Honor. When a defendant gets a bond increase and they're re-released, the case goes to whichever caseload has the least amount of cases at the moment.
Okay. Counsel, will we hear concerning Mr.
Yes.
Rosas?
Gilbert Rosas? Yes, Judge.
Okay.
There was a warrant issued, but we hadn't filed the affidavit of non-ownership at that time. You recalled the warrant. So the violation, the only violation notice I have received is the first one for November the 19th.
Okay.
I did state last week, I mean, it's not a big, I mean, I don't have the second violation, although I'm not disputing the second violation, but we did discuss that last week. And so we're back here to make sure that he got the mobile device. And I'm not very sure exactly which one he got. I can let Gilbert explain that, but he did have a little bit of a trouble. There's a lot of them are on back order. However, he did secure one. It is paid for and it's being delivered or installed tomorrow.
Tomorrow, she said it's going to be overnighted. And it should be there about after 10 o'clock tomorrow for me to pick up. Smart Start, they said they were on a national back order. So when I had the appointment to go there, they called me and let me know today. I didn't know that my pre-trial officer had changed. So I contacted my old pre-trial officer and I never got a response back. I left voicemail just to try to find something, but I ended up finding something else.
Alrighty.
And I do believe that's that would be the only thing that would put him in non-compliance.
Okay.
If pretrial officer can, I mean, if there's any other violation, I'm just not aware of it.
Mhm. All right. Officer Morgan, would you be able to go ahead and put you in a room? I'm sorry, that's me. Hang on 2 seconds. I just need to take this. Sorry about that. Okay, so can I go ahead and put you guys in a breakout room, or can you go ahead and text something? So Officer Morgan, could you get that second VR report to Attorney Gonzalez, okay?
Yes.
Alrighty, so Mr. Rosas, as soon as we get that portable alcohol monitoring device on, make sure that you send a copy of whatever Officer Morgan, and she's going to tell you right now what she needs a copy of. Do you need a copy of the contract? What do you need, Officer Morgan, for him to verify to you that he's got that installed?
Smart Start should provide a receipt. I just have a question, Your Honor. The previous VRs were for violations of non-enrollment for the ignition interlock. I know it does notate on there that he didn't have a vehicle. I don't have the court record in front of me at the moment, but I don't see anything on his file. Are you modifying his conditions to the in-home?
Yes, they did need to go ahead and provide you an affidavit of non-ownership. And the court has it. It's very difficult to read, Attorney Gonzalez. I don't know how this was e-filed, but this is what it looks like. So we're going to need a better copy of it to be able to get it to the pretrial officer, unless it's just going to get darker and darker. Looks like a photo was taken, and this was, I don't know how you e-filed the photo, but if we could go ahead and get a PDF and get that e-filed, and we can get it to Officer Brown, or you can send it to Officer Brown, but we're going to need a better copy in the office.
I can do that, Judge. I had to reformat it to upload it. I had just received it yesterday, so I submitted it with what I had at that time, but I'll get you a better copy. And if I can get Mrs. Morgan's email address, I can email her as well a better PDF copy of that.
Yeah, not a problem. As long as it says on the court record, Judge, that the conditions are being modified, I can screenshot that as well and put it in his file.
And I think those modifications happened last week. Judge, when we were here last week, I think you notated the file. I think was it Tuesday or Wednesday? I apologize. I don't remember what day we were here. If you okay.
I believe it was Wednesday. Also too, they asked for the modifications of the times that I needed to get, I guess, a written statement from the court in order for them to change the times for them to program it on the in-home device.
You go ahead and deal with that with the pretrial officer.
Okay, thank you.
And so it's something to deal with your schedule, sir?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, I'm going to let you guys go ahead and work that out, put you guys in a breakout room to work all of that out. Those logistics, since the three of you are here. Now, this says if you're going to redo this affidavit, the affidavit looks okay to me. I would just suggest that you provide either a personal data sheet that shows your address and your mother's address so that it will be distinct. Okay, so it's obvious on the face of the affidavit that you do not live with her. All righty. So and do you have a copy of it, Attorney Gonzalez, the affidavit?
I don't have a good copy, Judge. I received what you're looking at yesterday.
Sure. Just yesterday. Okay, so Mr. Gonzalez, Mr. Rosas, do you have a copy that's more readable than this?
Yes, I do have the original copy where I got it notarized. I can e-scan it and send it to my lawyer. Yes.
Right. Well, okay. Let's go ahead and do that, and I think it'll be and then Officer Brown can tell you what else might be helpful for pretrial office to accept. So that would be acceptable to them if they need more information, because you do have a set of requirements that you need in an affidavit of land ownership, correct, Officer Brown?
Yes, Your Honor. Also, I am looking at the MOGA court records. I don't see the amended condition on there. As long as it's, put on the record, it's fine, just because we need official, I guess, orders to modify his conditions, as well as if you're approving the times for his Smart Start device. We don't have the authorization, but if you approve after we do the breakout, as long as it's on record, I can change it on the Smart Start.
Okay, so why don't we do this? You have an ignition interlock removal form, right?
Yes, Judge.
Could you go ahead and send that to me, Adobe Sign, and I will go ahead and take care of that way to modify that requirement. And please just make a note there that it's a modification of the requirement, if that's what you need for me to do, or I can just put it all on an email to you. Would that work for you?
An email should be fine, or if it's just notated on the court record, that should be fine as well.
Okay, so this is what we are going to receive, Officer Brown. You're going to receive an ignition interlock requirement removal from me. Alrighty, and that he has the portable alcohol monitoring device installation not later than I'm going to put this here for the 22nd, just in case something happens. Would that be okay, Officer Gonzalez? Excuse me, Attorney Gonzalez?
Yes,
Okay.
Judge. Yes.
Alrighty. And so, and what else do we need? Anything else? And I will need a better copy of the affidavit of non-ownership with addresses. Okay. And whatever else.
Just approval of changes in the standard test times for his device.
Okay, and then for you to go ahead and work with him, he's going to be, as far as the modification, it's a minimum of twice. I like 3. I would like 3 windows, and I'll let you go ahead and work out those 3 windows, okay?
Yes, Judge.
Alrighty.
Thank you, Judge.
Okay.
you.
Work schedule. Okay, so affidavit of non-ownership, no driving. And make sure that it includes address and other PTS requirements, pretrial services requirements. Okay. Officer Brown, anything else?
That should be it, Judge. We can go. I think I'm ready for the breakout room.
Thank you. Attorney Gonzalez?
Yes, Judge, that's all that I have. I'm ready for the breakout room to discuss the timeframes for his mobile device.
I appreciate your time. Thank you. Let me move you. Attorney Gonzalez. And you are all excused from there, okay? Okay, Officer Brown, make sure, let him know that you guys are all excused from there, okay?
Okay.
Thank you. Have a good one. Okay, do we have everybody here for Mr. Gan?
Yes.
Okay, this is yours. Alrighty, let's get on record on cause number 662-624, State of Texas versus Noah Cyrus Gan. Parties, please approach and identify who's before the court, starting with the CLO.
Ashley Jennings, Court Liaison Officer for County Court number 2.
Thank you. CSO.
Gary Carnes, Community Supervision Officer for Mr. Noah Gann.
Counsel.
Will Brooks for Mr. Gann, Judge.
And are you Noah Cyrus Gan?
Yes, ma'am.
Good afternoon. How you doing?
I'm doing well.
Good, good. Not a problem. Officer Jennings, why are we here? When was the last court visit from Mr. Gan?
Yes, Your Honor. This is his first time appearing since being granted deferred adjudication for 16 months for obstruct of highway. An SR was sent to court outlining the TAP recommendations and returned on July 5th, 2022. to set a hearing and to review SATF paperwork or lifetime recovery, RISE, or SARC inpatient programs with probationer. Now, this case is set to expire on August 21st, 2023.
So how has Mr. Gan been doing?
Good afternoon, Your Honor. Mr. Gan, just a recap of what he's done so far. He is still responsible for the DWI education, the Alive at 25 and 60 hours of community service restitution. However, he has completed the U-Impact course, and he did send me an email earlier today that he was in the process of registering for the DWI education and the Alive at 25 with his intent on hopefully completing those within the next 2 weeks. He is presently driving with a valid Texas driver's license, and he has his device installed through Draeger since May 3rd for an 8-month term. Like the CLO had mentioned, was that the court was notified on July 5th in regards to a positive UA that he submitted on May 25th. He had initially indicated to me when he first reported that he probably would be positive for UA due to, I believe, use of marijuana. And so I was aware of that, but I did tell him that, you know, we would have to notify the court if it came back positive. In addition, he did submit to a TAP on June 21st, which recommended supportive outpatient treatment with a private provider or with Bexar County CSCD, weekly sober support meetings, and monthly UAs. Since that time, he has submitted 2 UAs, and I want to go over those just real quick here. The first one we already mentioned, he was positive for marijuana on May 25th, and his levels were at 267. And then he submitted one on June 21st, which was negative. But then there was a recent UA that I received on July 8th that was positive for marijuana again. However, it was pretty low. I mean, it was like 79, but it leads to question. I don't know what happened there. I don't know if he used again or really not sure. I know I discussed this with him. Also, since the court was last notified, I did pull his recent ignition interlock reports, and there were 2 high BRACs that he submitted. One was on 6/12, and the other one was on 6/25. I actually can give you the details on that if you'd like. On June 12th at 10:39 a.m., he submitted a high BRAC of 0.075, and he failed to continue to retest that same day until approximately 3:14 p.m., and that was a 0.016. On June 25th at 4:16 p.m., he also submitted a high BRAC of 0.050, and he did not resubmit until the following day, Sunday, on 6/26 at 1:57 p.m. with a 0.000. So, per your request, Your Honor, I did discuss several SARC, lifetime recovery, inpatient and outpatient programs, as well as the Bexar County Community Service, the Bexar County CSCD inpatient program and our outpatient programs. I think I even mentioned drug court as well. So he is aware on the surface, I guess I should say, of the differences between the 2 different type programs, inpatient and outpatient, and those agencies that provide those programs.
Officer Carnes, what was the last one after Bexar County, the Bexar County programs? What was that last one?
I just mentioned that I had also mentioned something to him about the drug court. I just threw that in there. We were just talking about the different type of programs. So.
Okay. Now, you say that he does have a valid Texas driver's license or doesn't?
Yeah, he does, according to Texas Department of Public Safety, and I always pull those records. The last time I pulled the record, it was showing that it was valid.
Okay. And so he registered yesterday for the DWI education?
Yes, I just received an email, I believe it was earlier today. And yes, he has registered for both the DWI education and also the Alive at 25.
Okay. When did those start? When do they start and when are they projected to finish?
Give me 1 second, Your Honor.
Yes, sir.
The Alive at 25 class will, he says, will begin on August 27th via Zoom. And he also said for the DWI education class, he says, I just reread his email and he says he said he has not received an email back yet, but he said, I believe the class is the weekend of July 29th.
Okay, so the Alive at 25 will end on the 27th of August or start?
I believe he was saying it'll start on the 27th. So.
How long does that take?
That is a good question, Your Honor. I'm not aware how long that class is, to be honest with you.
Okay. Now, go ahead.
No, I was just going to say I can check on that if you'd like. Get back to you.
Sure, not a problem. Please do.
Okay.
Now so now he submitted a UA, you say on the 21st or the 25th of June?
So yeah, he had a negative UA on June 21st that came back negative. Yes, ma'am.
All right. And then the negative was, oh no, that was the negative, June 21st.
Right.
Okay. And then a positive when?
June, well, he had the first positive on May 25th, but then on July 8th, it came back positive again for THC, levels 79.
Okay. Oh, the violation on June 25th was at what time for the indignation interlock?
Oh, the time? 1 second.
Yes, sir.
Sorry. That was at 4:16 p.m.
Okay. All right. And you have been supervising Mr. Gan since the inception of probation?
That is correct, Your Honor.
Okay. How are we doing on fees?
As of today, he has paid $240 toward assessed balance of $1,589. And he's currently due a payment. So, I mean, he's basically current on his fees.
Oh, he is current on his fees. You said $240 out of $1,500?
$1,589, and it looks like he has a payment that's due for this month, but it appears he's current. I do see he made a recent payment June 28th or a payment last month for $120, and he'll probably be making another payment this month. So
he's not delinquent?
No, it's not delinquent. It's just due because his payments are usually around the 27th, 28th of each month.
Okay. And when was I'm sorry, I did not hear when he was granted, Officer James. Go ahead.
He was granted April 22nd. of this year.
Okay. Counsel, do you have any questions for Officer Cars?
Not at this time, Judge. I know that DWI education course, if it's one that starts on the weekend, it's usually completed on that same weekend. It'll depend whether he's doing the impact course at the same time as a package, but it's usually all day Saturday and then all day Sunday if they're doing both.
Okay. What was kind of concerning me is just violation of condition number 2, polysubstance use. That was my biggest alarm. And so that's why I asked the community service, the probation officer, community service supervision officer to have a discussion as far as these different programs that's available to include the TAP recommendation. So did you want to talk to your client?
I can, Judge, sure.
Okay. Okay, we'll place the record on hold. How long is that program, Officer Connors?
Yeah.
11:25.
Yeah, I'm still, I'm sorry.
Okay.
It's one of those programs. It's like, I don't know why it's hard to identify, but it's been, I remember I went through this last time but I'm still searching, so.
Okay, not a problem. And Officer Jennings said SR was returned when, the 15th or?
July 5th, 2022.
Your Honor, it's a 4.5 hour class,
Okay.
typically conducted online, but it can be conducted in class. Your Honor, can I ask a question, if you don't mind?
Sure.
It's in regards to the Bexar County Gives Back program. When we see that in the conditions now, and I think there was an update to the court guidelines, is your preference that that be the first consideration when it comes to?
No. Oh, a very good question. It's really actually very optional.
Okay.
If they wish to go ahead and participate in it, not a problem. If not, not a problem. They're responsible for the full CSR, community service restitution hours. The only thing that has been modified with it is it's only credited for 40 hours.
Okay.
Right.
Great. Thank you for
And so
clarifying.
yes, sir. Anything over and above, they have other means to be able to go ahead and take care of it.
Okay. Thank you for that clarification.
Yes, sir. We're still good with the vaccines. If they can prove their participation in the census program or voter ID.
A lot of options, right?
Hmm. Mhm. Oh, Officer Jennings, anything on Isaiah Robinson?
No, the CSO has been out, so I'm just waiting on her to return so she could give me an update on that.
Thank you.
You're welcome. And then Elsa is gonna take over. She's gonna relieve me, Your Honor.
Okay.
Okay, thank you.
All righty. Have a good one.
Too.
Good afternoon, Officer Talia Santos. How are you, Santos?
Doing well. Good afternoon, Your Honor. How are you?
Not too bad, thanks. We are just to bring you up to date. We're just finishing up with Noah Cyrus Gan. The attorney is talking with the probationer.
Yes, thank you, Judge.
Yes, ma'am. Okay, let's go ahead and get back on record on cause number 662-624. State of Texas versus Noah Cyrus Gunn. At the time that we suspended the record, counsel and probationer needed to speak. And so, counsel, are we ready to proceed?
We are, Judge.
All righty. Go ahead, counsel.
Judge, in considering the report from Officer Carnes and thinking about these things, I knew about the majority of them, although I was just brought in yesterday to help out Mr. Gann.
Okay.
Some things to consider that I think might be relevant to the court. Mr. Gann's a young person. The court can see that. This is his first time being in trouble and being in contact with the system at all, Your Honor. He is working. He's been consistently doing that since he's been a part of my life, and he's showing the ability to make progress, Judge. Obviously, he had the negative testing there in June. The positive after he was placed on, it could be, he could have been using up until the point he's placed on, and it could be a decreasing amount. I think he'd be negative today, Your Honor. And I'm asking the court to consider his circumstances, consider that he's not been in this situation before. Obviously, it's very important to comply with probation and not have these issues, but I think sometimes with young people, this may be enough to scare the bejesus out of them. So if the court would consider it, I would ask for some consideration for a less structured form of treatment rather than inpatient like SADF, something like supportive outpatient or potentially drug court, monitor his progress, perhaps have him set for another compliance hearing after he's scheduled to finish the DWI education courses, ask him to show you some progress and not have any mistakes, and put him on a zero tolerance sort of leash. But I think putting him into an inpatient setting at this point may be a bit much for him, and very disruptive, obviously, to his life, which can be good if someone struggles with drugs or alcohol. But I also think with young people, they don't necessarily have an appreciation quite yet for how serious all of this is. So.
Thank you, Counselor Attorney Brooks. And that's why usually when I look at, the relative age, I usually like to have about a 2-month status report just so that we can be on track. So we're early in the game of probation, and this will be an opportunity to say, hey, this is how it really works, sort of thing. So Officer Carnes probably could lend to that. Officer Carnes, what do you think?
Yeah, I'm in agreement with Attorney Brooks as well. I mean, yes, he's young and it's his first time on probation. And I personally think that, a program like the supportive outpatient would be good with maybe a consideration of extending the device a couple of months if you choose to do so, Judge. But definitely, I think that's the right approach, is whether it's through the county or Lifetime or a place like that. I mean, I think that's definitely a good approach.
Okay. So you think an outpatient program would be? I do, yeah.
Based upon my experience, I think in this case, this would be a good first approach.
Okay. Is that what you're thinking, or Attorney Brooks?
I do, Judge. He just, like I said, I think his age and lacking experience with the system lends itself to maybe not respecting things like don't drink or use drugs while you're on probation. But I don't view him as someone that is currently struggling with addiction that necessitates inpatient treatment at this point. People can fool me, Judge, and that's why I say perhaps give him some some less structured modality like outpatient. And then if he's doesn't show you that he's capable of not using and not having problems with this device, then address it at that time. And perhaps more structured treatment regimen would be appropriate at that point.
All right. So there's also RISE Recovery. Right, Officer Carnes, RISE Recovery is an outpatient program.
Yes, Your Honor.
You know, that one has an appeal to younger folks. And so what, Counsel, what do you think of this? That we do an orientation or some sort of review of outpatient programs at the different organizations or agencies that Officer Carnes has discussed with Mr. Gahn, and then he picks the one that appeals to him best. I'm really good with any one of those. What do you think?
I think that's fine, Judge. I think Mr. Gahn has an appreciation for the circumstances he could be facing. So as a result, open to considering any of those options.
Okay. All righty. Because it's more helpful when folks get to which one that appeals to them best, as long as it's working. So by the 29th, what do you think, the 29th of July or by the 5th of August to select the program? Officer Carnes?
Well, I personally feel like 9 days is plenty of time to research these programs and come to a decision.
Okay. Counselor, about the 29th of July?
Sure, Judge, that's reasonable.
Okay. All right. Okay, now, so Mr. Khan would be negative if tested today?
Yes, Judge.
Okay, so today will be clean date. And a clean date means that you're clean today, tomorrow, next week, next month, and for the rest of the time that you're on probation. That's what a clean date means. That's doable? Mr. Khan?
Yes, yes,
Okay.
Your Honor.
Okay. Is there, and then of course, we're going to have, how often are we having the UAs now, Officer Carnes?
Well, until we appear today, I have recommended to him that we, from here going forward, that we submit to weekly ETG, ETS UAs, so we can establish a negative baseline and continue that monitoring, definitely up until the time he gets in the treatment and through treatment.
Okay, and you say through treatment, or treatment will also be monitoring them, and then coming out of treatment, we can start a new or another.
I would think that'd be more feasible, weekly up until he enters treatment. And then I believe, if I'm not mistaken, Rise Recovery, even Lifetime, they do send their participants to an outside lab as well.
Okay. Alrighty, and we're gonna go ahead and extend that ignition interlock. We're going to extend it about 2 months. 2 months. And let's go ahead and reset 2 months to see how we're doing, okay? Sound about right, Officer Carnes?
Yeah, yes, Your Honor. The only question I have is, so the conditions will end up being amended for the private outpatient, I suppose? And then he'll already be attending, and 2 months from now, then we'll see how he's doing, correct?
Right, and
Okay.
if the counselor would like to provide an input, I would appreciate that. Either they can join or they can send you some sort of a report update.
That sounds great.
Okay, so what we're going to do is going to go ahead and extend ignition and lock 2 months, reset this matter for 2 months, review UAs weekly until and through the treatment program. We're going to give Mr. Gan till the 29th of July to choose an outpatient program in fulfillment of the TAP recommendation of supportive outpatient program. And then we establish a clean date for today, the 20th of July, 2022. Moving forward, we should be good to go. Right, and we're going to be monitoring the levels. So, right, so we'll get levels with the UAs.
Yes, right.
Okay. And Mr. Gan, one of the things they do, and then Officer Carnes, please, correct me if I'm representing this, is that whenever you have a high BRAC, always retest, because it's a violation not to retest. So you have a violation and then you put another violation on top of it, and you put another violation on top of it. Officer Carnes, is that?
Yeah, that's correct. Exactly, because there's an opportunity there that if he truly wasn't drinking, we could see it clear, right? But if he stops submitting samples, then that's just an indicator that he probably was drinking. So yeah, always retest just to either clear yourself or, I guess, or confirm that you actually were violating. So.
Okay. Officer Carnes, anything else?
No, Your Honor. I'm in agreement with everything we've discussed. So.
Okay. Counsel?
Judge, just clarity on one point.
Yes, sir.
Whichever of the programs he chooses, Officer Carnes' understanding is that they will order him to a private lab to do UAs. And will that be sufficient for the court's order in respect to urine analysis tests during that treatment period? In other words, he's not going to have to go UA for probation and then UA through the treatment, is he?
Officer Carnes, what was your understanding of that?
Well, my understanding from what we discussed was that he's to submit to weekly UAs up until, and it sounded like through treatment. Now, the treatment program, typically, they're going to have him submit, under their program at least once, if not twice. So if the court is wanting him to submit to weeklies, then that will be what we have to decide on. So
weeklies through the program. Now, if there is a submission and you're made aware of that, Officer Carnes, since you're managing it now, we're not doing IVR. So since you're managing it, if we will give him credit for any UAs that.
Oh, sure.
Program, okay.
Totally understand, yeah.
Right, so it's gonna be weekly UAs, and then Officer Carnes will give him credit for any UAs that's required through the program. So he won't have to like do 2 in a week.
Right.
Understood.
Thank you for that clarification, Counsel. Anything else, sir?
No, Judge, nothing. Thank you very much.
Okay, and CLO Taya Santos, instructions, please.
Yes, Your Honor. Mr. Khan, I'll email you conditions for what the judge just ordered. I'll email you either later today or tomorrow morning. Make sure that you sign the document so that we can get it back.
Ready. With that, again, Mr. Brooks, Attorney Brooks, it's always a pleasure. Thank you so much for your advocacy. And CSO Carnes, you're the best. Period. Okay.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Mr. Gunn, thank you so much. Appreciate your all the effort that you've put in so far. Okay. And as I mentioned, yes, sir. As I mentioned to your attorney, my concern was the whole polysubstance thing. Okay. You got so much going on for you. You've got a lot to be able to contribute to your community. But under a cloud of substance use and abuse and all the stuff that they're going ahead and mixing in that, you got a longer life to live. Okay. And we want you to live it well. Okay.
Thank you, Your Honor.
All righty. If something is going on, the best person to talk to is Officer Carnes. See if we can go ahead and be able to work with you if there's anything else going on. Okay. And of course, your attorney. We want you to be not only successful with probation, but in life, because that you got a long road to go. Trust me. See all these gray hairs? I want to see you with gray hairs. Okay.
Okay. Thank you.
All right. Thank you. You are excused. Thanks. Have a great afternoon.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you, you too.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Okay. Mr. Ruiz, how are you, sir?
Judge Uzumba, how are you doing?
Pretty good, sir. We've got folks in breakout room 9 waiting to speak with you. So let me go ahead and move you there, and then you come on back and talk to me, okay?
Will do. Thank you, Judge.
All righty, sir. Oh. Marina? Miss Luna.
Yes, Judge?
Yeah, we can go ahead and shut down the recordings. And when when they're done with their screening and all that kind of good stuff, just have Mr. Ruiz give me a call, okay?
Mr. who, sorry?
Ruiz,
Okay.
all righty?
Yes, Judge.
But other than that, we're done.
Okay, I'll go ahead and stop the live and the recording is already stopped.
Okay, thanks.